Welcome to Voodoo Whiskey Gaming, and this is my late review of Ratchet Clank 2016, the sort of kind of reboot. I played it on the PS4, which is the only thing it's available on. So the story goes, you are Ratchet. Ratchet is a mechanic stuck on a small planet who dreams of being a galactic ranger. His opportunity arrives when Clank crash lands on his planet and delivers a message that the galaxy is in danger and they must go find the Galactic Rangers. One thing I did love was this is all being told in like a flashback by Captain Quark, so you get some of his commentary and narrative to it, and it's pretty funny. It adds to the humor that's already present in the game. I will say, this being a pseudo reboot, that there's definitely some things that are different from the original, but nothing that I felt took away from it. It's definitely still a great story, and it does do a good job of following what you know and adding to it. As for the audio, even though this is a reboot in prep for the upcoming movie, all the audio in this game still very much feels like it belongs within the Ratchet & Clank universe that's already been established. The weapons, the creatures, the worlds, they all sound exactly like you would expect them to sound in this kind of game. Now, when it comes to the voice work, you may notice some celebrity voices in there because, well, again, prepping for the upcoming movie. But Ratchet, Clank, and Captain Quark all have the same voiceover actors from the previous games. Now, as for the writing, it is exactly on point. It is exactly what you expect from a Ratchet & Clank game. It's got the humor, it's got the story, it's got the drama, it's got what you're looking for in a Ratchet & Clank game. It fits. When it comes to the gameplay and controls, it's a third-person shooter and platformer, just like the Ratchet & Clanks of old. You get all your wackiness that you're used to, guns like the Sheepinator, or one that turns enemies into pixelated versions of themselves and acts kind of like a shotgun. Just the wacky kind of crap you're used to. You can upgrade your guns, Ratchet levels up, your guns level up. It's a Ratchet & Clank fare, and I enjoyed what they did with it. As for the controls, I had to change the control scheme a bit. More or less what the camera does and how you shoot using the camera. I had to change that up. I didn't like the way they had it set up originally, but they have one that's more akin to the old controls, and I think that worked best. And I gotta say, the controls are actually really tight. They're very responsive. They do what you want them to do when you want them to do it. Only exception I had was I felt like the jumping back and forth between the walls to get up to a higher area, that was a little sketchy. It didn't work exactly like I wanted it to every time. And now the graphics. To put it simply, it's a good-looking game. It's a really good-looking game. This is without a doubt the best-looking Ratchet & Clank game. Probably because it's the PS4 Ratchet & Clank game, and all the others have been PS3 or PS2. Setting that aside, the art design is great, and yes, it's a reboot, so you have to pay attention to the art design. Does it fit within what you know? Are they really making massive changes? And the answer is no, they didn't make any massive changes. It still has a very cartoony feel. It honestly looks a lot like a Ratchet & Clank game of old, just cleaner graphics, more detail, etc., etc. At the end of the day, this is a reboot, and they didn't stray too far from the source material, which is kind of a good thing because this has always been a kind of unique and quirky game, and I think straying too far from the source material would just take away from that experience. But if you're looking for a Ratchet & Clank type game on the PS4, well, this is definitely the best Ratchet & Clank type experience on the PS4, well, because it's Ratchet & Clank on the PS4. But even if you've never played a Ratchet & Clank game before, this is a great place to start. It's a great game in general, and it already started at a lower price than normal, so why not buy it? I think you should. So, in the comments below, why don't you let me know if you have played any of the old Ratchet & Clank games, PS2, PS3, and that's really the only platforms they've been on, apart from the PSP. Those weren't bad either. And as always, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, and if you like what I'm doing in general, share or subscribe. Have a good one.